It is often said that the longest journey begins with the first step. And here at Fund Access, we give you the courage to start your journey, to grow, to live your dream. For more than 20 years, Fund Access has been empowering entrepreneurs through access to finance, business training, and technical assistance. So whatever stage you're at, we can help. Call us at 228-1366 or visit us online at www.fundaccess.org. Fund Access, empowering entrepreneurs.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our fourth Let's Talk Virtually, a series of webinars facilitated by the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation and Fund Access, along with our sponsor, Trident 10. In response to the Community Challenge, I am Karen Sue, your host for today. Today's topic is insurance for MSMEs, a very important topic. And let me introduce you to your facilitators today from Guardian Life Insurance. They are Siobhan Graham and Shanice Burgess. Shanice is an experienced and knowledgeable financial advisor at Guardian Life of the Caribbean, ready to work with you to ensure your business financial future is secured. She has been certified in sales, life insurance, and estate planning. Shanice has worked with businesses to help them choose, invest, and manage plans that will offer safe investment and excellent returns. Siobhan has been in a customer service-oriented career and has now found a deeper passion in service since becoming an advisor at Guardian Life of the Caribbean. Since joining Guardian Life family in 2020, Siobhan has won the Agent of the Week, Agent of the Month, and also Rookie of the Year. I now introduce you and hand you over to our facilitators, Siobhan and Shanice. Ladies?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Good afternoon, sorry.
Good afternoon. So our presentation today will simply tell you guys what you need to do for yourselves, for your business, and for your families as well. So we will get started. Just give us a second to resume the slideshow. You having some technical difficulties here? The slideshow is. No? You can have some assistance.
What's the challenge?
The slideshow is not running. There's no change on the screen.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the clothes aren't working. So our presentation today will deal with a number of things. So we will discuss the business succession rates in Barbados. We will discuss the benefits to you yourself personally and the benefits to your family. So most of you may not know with regards to businesses in Barbados that the succession rate is pretty much very low, especially when it comes to family-owned businesses. So 30% of family businesses only succeed to the second generation. So one of the things that you guys may be thinking of is, and I'm not sure if you would have thought about it as yet, is what will happen to your business after you're gone? Is that something that you're looking to pass on to your family as your business grows, or if it is that your business will die with you? And most businesses in Barbados do not even succeed to the third generation. So that is something else you can think about as well because of having no structure.
The next thing that you should also know is that owners don't like to plan, and some of the reasons why business owners don't plan is that they don't like to think about getting older or even the possibility of death. They're so consumed within the business that they just want to carry on the business until it's their final days, right? They're too busy managing their business on a daily basis, right? So candidates for Keyman Insurance. When we say Keyman Insurance, we are referring to any key persons within the organization. So it don't necessarily have to be business owners, but someone that we consider play a key role in the organization. Those are who we consider key persons. So business owners, company executives, and also technical staffs are all considered key persons in an organization.
Why is Keyman Insurance important? So as young entrepreneurs, it will be a little challenging when you first get, the business up and running. So the things you will need to do, and one thing that I have been told by numerous business owners who have been successful, is those first 5 years are the hardest. So I know most younger persons will be thinking, I want to make this money, I ain't saying this money, I can try something else. But what I will tell you guys is, you need to stick with it because you don't necessarily get, that clientele that you want to begin with, that income that you're looking for to begin with. But once you plan properly, anything can be achieved. So the things that you as a business owner should want to do is make sure that your business can outlive you. If you're looking for families for yourself, you also want to ensure that your families can benefit from the business long after you're gone. This is my presentation I wanted. That your family can benefit from the businesses right after you're gone.
Yeah, there are over 20,000 businesses currently in Barbados and 1,500 affluent businesses. 90% of them actually haven't even heard the term Keyman Insurance. Basically, 25% heard the term Keyman Insurance already, right? The products that we at Guardian Life do offer in terms of business is business continuity, which is known as Keyman Insurance, and business expansion, which is also known as the sinking fund.
Okay, for the Keyman Insurance, what this does is in the event that something were to happen to you or you were to become critically ill, what that does is inject a lump sum of money into your business to ensure that any expenses that you would have with the business in terms of paying employees, even that can help towards your personal medical expenses, etc., that the business doesn't have to suffer. There will be no situation as an entrepreneur as yourself. So you may have your personal insurance mixed available to you. So you may have health insurance for yourself. If you don't have that, that's an option as well. You may need to have some critical illness because nobody knows when anything will happen to them in terms of like having cancer, heart attack, stroke. Some of you might be in a job where you may have a business where you travel. You never know, you might get in an accident and you could become disabled, or you may lose a limb, etc. So what you want to do is make sure that you have coverage for all of these things so that in the event that you're unable to work, that you still have an income to replace. You don't have to worry about them saying, well, your business could still run, but you want to make sure it can run successfully because you don't want that you have to be taken from the business every single time.
Okay, and the benefits of the sinking fund is that it works as financial security, it's a risk reduction, and aid in capitalizing on expansion. So if you see yourself within the short to medium to long term expansion within your company, this is ideal for that. It also works to conserve your assets, and is also tax free. And it also works in the event of another crisis. You know, we just came out of COVID. We're still currently in it. Then there is food crisis that is possibly to happen shortly. So within every decade, there's a crisis that does happen. So we're never sure what is going to happen. So this fund works, you could say, basically as an emergency fund for companies. In the event if another crisis was to happen, you'll have a plan B.
The Keyman insurance as well, this is a policy that builds a cash value, so you can use that money towards separation packages, etc. The sinking fund can also aid in things like this. You can also pay for vacations. If you need to pay with somebody, you don't have to be on NAS. If you want to filter somebody out of your business, one of your employees, because you do know that once a person is working a certain amount of time, they're entitled to their vacation, they are entitled to a number of other different expenses that the business would incur. So you want to always ensure that not only do you have these things in place for your business, that you have them in place for yourself to secure your business. Oh, let's go back one moment, Shanice. Right, as you would see, retirement is also something that you need to be thinking about, because you don't want to be working until you die. Yes, you want to have your business, but you also want to filter yourself out to the business at some point so that you can retire and retire comfortably while your business runs and still makes money for you. We also want to ensure that with your business that you are paying yourself, because in paying yourself, you ensure that you can then plan towards other ventures and maybe even have other opportunities for development into other business ventures as well.
So to conclude, in relation to business succession planning, in terms of Keyman Insurance and Sinking Fund, what we at Guardian Life do offer is that it provides the financial means to stabilize the company during the adjustment period after the loss of a key person when a death or disability occurs. The business may lose critical management skills and may experience periods of falling sales and productivity. Additionally, significant costs will be incurred identifying and training the person or persons that can take the place of the key employee. If your business will be dramatically impacted by the loss of one or more of your top people, Keyman Insurance and Sinking Fund can effectively protect against this.
That then covers the business portion of it. Once your business is protected, then you yourself are protected financially. So the other things now that we will discuss will be setting good financial goals, having good saving habits, saving tips, and building financial strategies. These aren't anything new, it's just that they're more catered to us. So we didn't want to give you information and say, well, that is probably for overseas. No, everything we tell you will be definitely catered to our environment. So there are seven essential money skills. So the things that we do with money is we make it, which is what you guys will be doing, making money. You will value it because you've put in the hard work for it, so you will definitely have some value towards it. You will want to manage it because you want to ensure that your business can run for a long time. You want to save some of that money towards maybe your retirement or other business ventures. You want to invest it so that you can have your money working for you. You want to shield it. Shield it meaning you want to shield it from taxes. So any tax-free ventures that you can do, so they're like tax-free pensions that you can have. So there are registered pensions where you don't have to pay any taxes. That's a good way to save some of your money from taxes. And then you share it. You may be making so much money that you would say, you know what, I would like to give to a charity, or maybe give to a family in my community that might be in need. These are just some of the things that people do with money. But as business people, you don't know you know that you have to start from the bottom. So the first thing that we talk about is elbow grease. That is definitely putting in all the hard work, making sure you have a good business plan, because you can have a business, but you might be just doing and you may not know where you're going. So you need to know what you want to do this year. You need to know what you want to do next year. You need to know that if you want to make $100,000 this year, what it will require from your business for you to do. Do you need 50 customers to make that money? Do you need 100 customers? Do you need 200 customers? Then you break down that figure into smaller bites so that you need to know what you will need to do monthly to achieve that. So you definitely have to put in that hard work. You also have to have a good plan. Without planning, you are nothing. So make sure that you can cover, you have a good business structure, that you have all the right keys, the right key performance ideas that you need for your business to be successful. You also need to be decisive. Once you have an idea, you need to stick to it. You can't say, well, maybe not this, and be forever changing your mind, because then where would your business be? The next thing is have a mentor. Don't think that because you know you're doing that, you know it all. Always have somebody that has done what you've done, or at least read some books or something to get you in a better mind frame to where you need to go. Don't think that because, oh, so I got this skill, I got it covered. No. Always find somebody that's in business that you can always learn from. Once you're always learning, there's no way that you would not be successful. The next thing is to have positive thoughts. Don't think that because you're having a bad day that, you know, the world will come to an end, or that the business is not going the way you want. Once you have the belief that you could achieve it, there's nothing else that could stop it. And then most importantly, you may be new in the business, so you may be thinking, oh my God, I gotta work every day, you know, I gotta make this money. That's not so. You got to first take care of you, because health is wealth. If you aren't healthy and you're just working 7 days a week because you want your business to be successful, just remember, make time for yourself, so that when you're good, then you will have, you know, your mind, your brain will function better, so then you could come up with more ideas and different ways for your business to be successful. So, as I was told, you may be talking to a pretty young crowd, so things that persons will be thinking about in different life periods will vary based on their business. So now you'll be thinking, if you're between 20 to 40, outside of your business, you might be thinking about marriage and children. You might be thinking of, you know, different career opportunities. So you might be in one business, but you might be thinking, yeah, maybe I could get into this as well. You might want to purchase a home. You might be operating from home. You might want a storefront. You might want to buy a newer vehicle, depending on what your business is, so that you could do deliveries, or if you're working out of your vehicle, etc. And you may have, you know, had some loans because you would bring and, you know, develop your skills, etc. So these are what most people will be thinking about between their 20s to 40s. And then as you advance to your future, where you're in your 40s to 50s, you will be thinking, then let's say within the time you're developing your business and stuff, you get your family, so you have children, so then you have to be thinking, no, your children now are in their prime, so now you have to be thinking about university expenses, or you'll be thinking about, you know, vacation and travel, or how financially independent you need to be. You may want to try to clear some debt, etc., based on the money that you may have borrowed to start out your business. Between 50 to 65, most persons will be thinking about wealth accumulations, because you'll be thinking, you know, I'm getting old, and we definitely don't want to be working to 72. So you'll be thinking, oh, you know, we're getting old, let me start, you know, see how much more wealth I can accumulate, because you have to always have that vision in your head of what you want your life to look like for retirement. What you want to do during retirement is not to have to work, but choose to work. So if you choose to stay in your business, that is fine. But if you have to do it because you haven't planned properly for your retirement, that's completely different. Other things persons think about is asset conservation. What asset do I have now that can make money for me? Or what asset can I get rid of that I can use that money to invest in something else? You'll be thinking about your home. You're getting older, you might have, you know, had some success in your business, and you would have built, you know, a huge house. It could be 2 to 3 stories, but now you might be getting old. You might tell yourself, you know, my needs ain't so good. I might need a smaller home. Let me sell this one to get a smaller one, or maybe let me leave this for my children, etc., and get something else for myself, and so on. And then in retirement, you definitely want to be able to enjoy your retirement. Like I said, you want to choose to work and not have to work. And then comes pre-retirement. Pre-retirement, now you have to be thinking about your legal affairs. We're thinking about wills and trusts. Most black businesses don't even survive due to these things. We had situations like the Advocate where there was poor planning, there were, you know, things didn't go well, etc. You may also be thinking about, you know, I've been in this business long enough, I might choose a new career, I might want to do something else to keep myself occupied in my older years. And then one of the things that we have seen recently is a lot of dependent parents. Persons are now looking for nursing homes for parents and those kind of things. You have to make sure that we plan for our parents if they haven't done it for themselves as well, so that they don't become a burden to us. And then comes retirement. Like I said, we are definitely not working at 72, so let's start planning now. Because when you retire, you want to have an enjoyable lifestyle, you want to have purchasing power. The cost of living in Barbados is so high, you will find that a lot of retirees have to be picking up smaller jobs now just to be able to cushion the expenses that they have, because the retirement pensions that they're currently getting is definitely not enough. And like I would have mentioned before, the dependent parents will be still there, because we do have an age population in Barbados. Your parents, you don't want them to have to depend on you. You can make sure that you set them up if they don't set up themselves. So we would have done a survey and we would have asked a number of persons in different age ranges, when you retire, if you think that you would have enough money to live comfortably. And if you will notice, most younger persons will say, yes, I have enough money to retire. And then as you get older, you will realize that people, when they're really too old, which means it's kind of like too late, that they realize that they really didn't have enough. So when you're young, try to plan as early as possible. You don't want to wait and so, well, I got time, I could do that later. You want to do it now, because the more time you have, the more money you could accumulate towards your retirement. I know you guys might have seen some of the information you use with regards to pensions and persons having to work to 72. This study was done since 1996, and it showed the trend of what the government is currently telling you. It literally shows you that our working population is decreasing. If you see working age 16 to 64, our working population has been decreasing since before 1996, but this study was done in 1996. Since 1996, our working population was decreasing and our pensionable age of persons has been increasing. So what you want to do is make sure you have your pension plan set, because the news has been telling you the NIS fund may be depleted. And as entrepreneurs, I wouldn't tell you don't pay NIS. What I would say is ensure that you have a separate retirement fund for yourself. So this is how retirement works. So if you don't plan for your retirement, you will have your income, the same income you might have been having from your business for a long time. And then we will have the cost of living that we know is continuously going up. And obviously you will need to close the gap between the income that you will have and the cost of living, and you can do that once you plan properly. The next thing that we talk about is the inflation rate. You will say, well, yeah, when I retire, I want $1 million. But as you will notice from this graph is $1 million today, or $1,000 today, in a couple of years, you might be in your 20s, you might be in your 30s. In a couple of years, the value of that will be completely depleted because cost of living and the other economic situations that may have happened. So food for thought. You have to ask yourself, are you a good saver? Do you save your money or do you just invest it? Your money on the bank is fine. You should have an emergency fund somewhere. But what you also need to do is also always want to have your money working for you. Your money on the bank is not working for you. Your money is actually on the bank depreciating. But if that's your avenue to have that as your emergency fund, that's completely fine. What you want to do with any additional money is invest it. Have that money increasing, have that money working for you so that it's doubling by the time you're ready to retire. So what should you save or invest? Saving or investing helps you to manage the unexpected. As I said, you're entrepreneurs. You never know when anything might happen, so you want to protect yourselves. You want to be able to provide for special expenses. Suppose, you get a major illness or you were to become disabled. Who then takes care of you? You also want to beat inflation, like I said. Invest your money so that it works for you and it can be increased with the interest rates that they will have, as opposed to just having it saved and just having it sitting there. Because if you put $100 on the bank today, it will be $100 tomorrow. But if you invest $100, even if it's 1%, you get back more than you started with. The other thing is to make sure that any investments you do are unregistered so that you can save from taxes. All registered plans have to pay taxes on, so ensure that all your plans are unregistered. So we always say there are two types of people in this world. There are people who save first and spend later, and then there are people who spend first and save later. And you can imagine who works for who. Persons who spend first and save later usually end up working for persons who save first and spend later. Why is this? Is because most people, and because that's how our generation probably has been fed as well, is that you pay those bills first, you make sure the bills paid, food buy, and everything is covered in the house, and then if anything left back, you save. And most of the time there's nothing left to save, or there's very little. But if you always tell yourself, let me save a portion first and then spend the rest of it. So if the bill is $100 and you can only put $80 that month because you needed to save $20, then you could go ahead and do that. Why? Is because if something happens to you and you would have just been paying those bills up front and you weren't able to save, then you have nothing. But if something happens and you were saving all along, what that then means is you have some savings that you can still pay those same very bills. So always ensure to pay yourself or have some other savings outside of the business. Don't just take your money, take your money and reinvest it back in the business, but also have a separate fund towards yourself. So we always think about ways we can save. You may tell yourself, I know start my business, I just gotta put back in all my money. It's kind of hard for me to save, but there are small things that you can do, and everything doesn't apply to everyone. These are just random examples that we would have come up with, but you can decide based on how your expenses are, list ways that you can save money. So you'll be thinking about, you get as men, they like the car to look nice. You'll be thinking, I need to get my car valet or whatever. How about something just clean the car yourself sometimes? That will help to save on money. And then ladies, we need to get our hair and our nails done. How about maybe asking a friend to do the hair for you sometimes, so that you don't have to, expense yourself going to the salon and whatnot, or maybe try doing it yourself. So expense take control. So the things you want to do, record all your daily expenditure. So if you don't already, you should have a budget set up so that you know exactly where all your money is going. So you know all your expenses and you know your income. So you know you can say, in January I made $100, but I had to reinvest 20 back in the business, 20 went to bills, 20 went to this. So you know exactly where all your money is going. You should not be there saying, I know how many, I can't even imagine where it just went. That's not what you want. You want to always know where your money has gone so that you can manage it a lot better. The next thing to do is not to keep large sums of money on you. Always deposit that money into the bank, and this also helps when you want to get loans from the bank as entrepreneurs. The bank wants to see that you have the income coming in, so even if you put all on the bank and take it off the next day, let them see that you have money coming in. So if you want to get a small loan, they will say, I can see money coming in every month, or I see money coming in every week. Yeah, I could definitely give this person a loan because they have that financial record on you. The other thing to do is shop for necessities. So when you go, don't buy extra because you want to buy extra that day, because you might need to save. One thing to do is should go shopping with a list. Make sure you just buy exactly what you want so that you can have that additional money to do something else with. Things like grocery shopping is something that, we go and splurge. Maybe if you're walking through the snack line, so I eat this and let me have this snack, etc. One thing to do is, one, go to the supermarket with your belly full, and two, go with your list. Because when you're hungry, you just end up buying a lot of things that you don't need. And this is a fact. This is a fact. The other thing is something that I strongly believe in, because I'm a person who definitely believes in proper financial planning. There's no way that I just come from the supermarket spending all that money to go and buy lunch. There's no way. So even if I got cut one pot of rice to last me the whole week and a whole chicken, I can cut it up in 15 pieces, I am definitely not buying lunch every day, because I already done spending $300 in the supermarket to then go and get somebody $25 for lunch. That maffin for me. It's not gonna happen. So even if I cook macaroni and tuna, trust me, I'm cooking lunch every single day. And if every single day is too taxing, cut all your meals on Sunday, pack them in containers and put them in the fridge. Because if you are a person that your business is on the road, trust me, you're gonna spend so much money in buying food that you're not gonna realize where your money has gone. And then if you are an individual and you have your children, you need to have those conversations with your children. This is mommy and daddy business, or this is mommy business, daddy business. We can't go to fair every week, because mommy has to make sure that your future is secured. So what we would do is, every 2 months, you will get a treat. We will go to Chafet, but we're not going to Chafet every weekend. We're not going to Chafet every Friday, because we're not going to cook. We can peel potatoes because mommy got potatoes and they got chicken in the fridge. Right? So there are just some ways to help save money. And trust me, it works. When I was a little bit younger, still very young, but when I was a little bit younger, trust me, splurging was the thing. When I came out, there's no outfit worn twice, hair must be done, nails must be done. Yes, you might see my nails done right now, but this was on a special occasion. It was my birthday on Sunday, so my nails are done. But trust me, if you see me in the next couple of months, there will be no nails because this is not an expense that I want to undertake often. Good. But then, when we're doing that, there are things that can alter our finances. So, you might be single now, you might decide to get married. When you get married, that's 2 persons now. Then there is, if you start a family, you may get children. Children can be very expensive. How do you ensure that your children have a good foundation in life? You may not have had the easiest one. You may have had an easy one. So either way, whether you had an easy one or not, you still want to make sure your child has a good one. So persons who say, well, my life was hard, I want to make sure my children are better. And then persons who had a good life, so they want to make sure their children have the same, it's the same principle. The other thing is divorce. So if you're married now and you might be in business with your significant other, heaven forbid, because I don't want anything to happen to anybody's relationship, heaven forbid that something happens, that's another expense. You don't know who got to pay who, etc. And that could be very taxing on the business as well. The other thing is if someone dies. If someone dies and they don't have protection, what happens then? All the expenses is leaves on one person. And as the Bible said, a man will leave wealth for his family, or a woman should leave wealth for their family. So if one person dies, you should ensure that you have coverage on something or some investment that can help your family while you're not there. And when you're thinking about that, think about, let's say your business makes $100,000 a year. If you're looking for an investment, make sure your investment could give your family at least 10 years. Because you can't just say, well, $100,000, well, let me get $100,000 then, because that will only let your family survive for a year. What are they supposed to do after that? So you have to be thinking about, let's say your child is 5, you might want to support your child to university. You have another about 16 years now to support that child straight to university. How much money would you need should something happen to you that you need to leave for your wife or your husband to help them get the children all the way through university? Or does he not have to, he or she not have to look for a loan to be, for interest to be added on that? And then they have to pay back more than they borrowed. If you could leave them with a lump sum, or if we could show you a way to leave them with a lump sum of cash tax free, I definitely think that you would prefer that. Right. The other thing is another couple of things would be, if this business isn't successful, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to show you how to help your business to be successful and to show you how you can have, build some generational wealth within your family. Additional things that you can do as well, you have your business. Think about other ideas you could capitalize on. Think about ideas of how you can expand your business. We all know that there is the Instagram where you can promote your business for free and other ventures. Just like we have Fund Access. Think about other ways in which that you can develop your business further. And other talents that you might have to other business ventures that you could try. To try and have failed is better than to have not tried at all. So you may have this one business venture and you may be thinking about doing another one. I would give you a perfect example. I had a friend, she wanted to get into doing lashes. She was like, everybody's doing lashes. I told her as well, there's also different types of braids in the supermarket. So I'm a buy carters, I feel like carters. I can buy purse if I want pretty. So it doesn't matter how many people are in a business. If you want to try that venture as well, go right ahead. All you have to do is find a way to differentiate yourself from the masses. So planning areas for yourself and your business. You want to think about education, and this could be for yourself as well. So you don't only have to think about if this is your children only. You might be thinking based on my business. There might be a skill that you have. You might be able to develop it. You might be able to go somewhere else and learn a new way or easier way to do that business. You want to think about getting life insurance. You want to think about how I could create wealth for my family, and this is the easiest way to create wealth for your family and a tax-free way. You want that income protection as entrepreneurs. Like I said, your business might be one where you travel. You might be on the road daily. You don't leave home to try to get into an accident, but you never know. There are other people who are on the road who aren't as careful as you are, that could cause you to be the person being injured, permanently disabled, losing a limb, become whatever. So you want to ensure that if something like that happens, that you have more than enough coverage for yourself that can get you through that time and that can help your business to still function. Because what you don't want to do, if your business can still run without you physically, that you don't have to take the money from that you have money other ways. The other thing you can have as an entrepreneur is some medical insurance. If you have children and this is something that your business can afford, you can have medical insurance as well, so that when you go to the doctor, dentist, optician, that you can get some of that money back. And then you have general insurance as well. So if your business has a storefront, you want to ensure that your business is protected from theft, from fire. You want to ensure that your stock is protected as well. You want to ensure public liability, which simply means that if persons come onto your property and they get injured, that you have your business covered for that, because people say you don't get money in bars, but you can get it at some point. You may not get it next month or next year, but if somebody does sue you because they get injured on your property, you still have to pay them if they take you to court. If you can settle outside, well, good for you, but outside of that, you definitely have to ensure that your business is protected, your stock is protected, etc. And the other thing that we don't do enough is will planning in Barbados. Too many families have been broken because of this, because person is not put in writing exactly what they will want to happen. So what you want to do is ensure that if this is your business and you're leaving it for your son, your daughter, your whoever, that there's nobody that can come and step in front of them or just cause complete havoc, and then the business then suffers. So something like an injunction put on the business because things weren't put in place, and then that goes to court, and when that's in court, the business can't function. So the only thing the business will do after that is die, because everything about it takes long. So it's not even the court next week, and the following week you can have a decision. You definitely need to make sure that you have something in place to avoid things like injunctions on your business, so that your business can function successfully and your family can benefit and your business can go on to the second and third generation, if that is what you wish. So as I would have mentioned, there are things that can go wrong. Those things will be sickness, disability, emergency, job loss, death, educational funding, and retirement. So the solution for these things I would have mentioned, which will go towards you, yourself, your family, or your business, would be to have collateral. So if you have a home, some banks are telling persons no, they don't need to have that collateral. It's fine, but it's not fine, because at the end of the day, if something happens to you, they can't get their money, they take care of your house, so then where does your family go? Always ensure that you have mortgage collateral, and the easiest way to do that and the cheapest way to do that is to have just a term policy to give you that security. The other thing is retirement funding. Like I would have mentioned, think about what you want your life to look like when you retire. Do you want a life of travel for you and your family? What do you want? You may be retired and you may still have children in school, etc. Like, what exactly do you want your life to look like? Think about what that figure would be, and then you can work towards it. Because you're no starting your business, you may not be where you need to be. So let's say you want $1 million and that will cost you $2,000 a month. Start with something smaller, and you can grow that over the years, because you're so young, you have so much time. Grow that over the years so that you can be where you need to be. Always keeping in mind inflation and cost of living. So your $1 million today, in another 10 years might need to be 2 or 1.5. So always be reevaluating what you have. Reevaluate your goals, reevaluate everything, your business, everything, so that you know where you need to be. So when you're ready to retire, that you're comfortable. Building generational wealth as well. What we want to do is, because I find that this upcoming generation is a little entitled, so we don't necessarily want to give our children everything, but you at least want to give them the support or give them a start to what they will need for their future. It's always good if you still let them work for some of it, so that they appreciate and they can value it. But other than that, let's give our children a good foundation in life. Then I would have mentioned before, dependent parents. I personally know, and only have been in this industry, that my mother wasn't interested in insurance or having something for her death benefits. She just said, we will figure it out. I don't want to have to figure it out. I don't want to have to go to the credit union or the bank and say, well, I need a loan to bury my mother. Too many homes have said agents 5 and 10 years later are still paying for normal expenses. That's not what we want. We want to ensure that whether that expense is a death expense or a living expense, because I can personally tell you, and this is me very, very transparent with you guys, we just literally had to look for a nursing home for my grandfather. A nursing home told me the cost is $36,000 a month. That is crazy. $3,600 a month, sorry. We don't want that. That is such a huge expense. That is like paying a mortgage on a car. So we want to ensure that we plan for our parents, whether it is their living expenses for the future, if we can't take care of them for whatever reasons, it could be dementia, whatever, or if it's just their final expenses, whether it's death. We don't want to be going to the bank to get loans. We can have our parents covered as well, so that when they're dying, and that's an easy way to build generational wealth as well. You cover your parents, you spend some of the money on the funeral or whatever, and whatever debt they may have, you keep the rest. But you pay the bill. So you cover your parent may not be able to afford the coverage, but you can pay the bill, because you seek to benefit thereafter. And I'm not saying cover your parents and go and kill them to get money. I'm just saying let's prepare. Let's be more proactive than reactive. So think about if you had died yesterday, heaven forbid, what mechanism do you currently have in place that can cover a funeral arrangement? The average cost of a funeral is $15,000 to $20,000 in Barbados. If you have that on, that is fantastic. But if you don't, who can pay that bill for you? I definitely can once you get that coverage with me. The other thing is, as I would have mentioned, if you work for $100,000 a year and heaven forbid you passed away, you need to figure out how much money you will need to leave for your family. And this is a perfect example here. If your annual income is $3,600 and your child is, a certain age and you have another 11 years to support your child, then the minimum coverage that you would need right now would be $396,000. However, just remember that the older your child gets, the more expensive they will get. So at some point, you will need to increase on this coverage to ensure that you can leave the value that is required for your family. Income protection covers you for major illnesses in addition to permanent disability. If you have a mechanism that can unlock $100,000 towards heaven forbid you get cancer, kudos to you if you have that already in savings. But if you don't, allow me to be the person to pay that medical expense for you. So then people say, well, the government has to give me something. The government will give you something, but I can guarantee you it won't be enough should you become sick or should you die. And then when it comes to retirement, we've been hearing too much in the news about retirement. Regardless of how much money you make, if you pay NIS or not, your pension from the government will not exceed $4,880. That is just how that scheme works, and that's the maximum that anybody will get. So it's your 500 best contributions or till retirement. So for retirement planning, as I would have mentioned, you may not be where you need to be, but you can always start somewhere. So if you can only afford $100 a month, start with $100. If you can afford $150, start with $150. Because what you want to do is start with something, because anything is better than zero. And then if 2,000 is where you need to be, as your business grows, we will grow with you. We will continue to do evaluations every year to see where you are. If you're in a better financial situation, we will increase and go ahead. If you aren't, we will remain there until you can do better. What we don't want you to do is feel like you need to stretch yourself or that this is too expensive and you can't afford it, that you don't start it. You want to ensure that you can start somewhere. Know that all of our pensions are tax-free, so all the money is yours. If you have children, you have to think about their education, and you have to think about your education as well if you are in an industry where you would need to always be learning. So you don't think about learning for just your children, think about it for yourself. There might be a course that you might need to do. You might be a nail technician, you might want to get into lashes. I know some of those courses might be like a $3,000 for a couple of days or something like that. Ensure that you can plan for yourself as well if you're looking towards expanding your business in the future. And then, like I would have mentioned, if you're going to have a storefront, and this is the last thing, so hopefully they don't bore you too much, but if you're going to have a storefront or persons are coming to your home, ensure that you have coverage. Make sure you're covered from burglary and theft. Make sure you're covered from fire. We know all too often in Barbados is a house fire. Make sure you're covered for public liability. Once persons are coming on your property, ensure that you have a coverage so that if something happens to them, that you can pay them. Ensure that your stock is covered from a natural disaster if you have a storefront or if it's at your home as well. If you're a person who may be making significant money and you may not want to take it to the bank yourself, make sure you have coverage for when someone else is taking it to the bank for you, that if something happens, that your money is safe as well. And if your business is a technical business where it's a lot of online stuff, make sure that you have cyber coverage as well, so that if anything happens, that you can get everything back up and running. So that is pretty much it. So that covers you, it covers your family, and it covers your business. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Siobhan Graham. This is my colleague Shanice Burgess, and thank you for having us.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. I would just like to go back to an earlier topic where you guys spoke about the Keyman insurance. Am I correct?
Yes, please.
So as a young entrepreneur starting out, and I'm hearing you today, and I want to get my business at Keyman Insurance, how much money do you think I should start with?
I think you should start with how much you think your business can make in a year at minimum. So if you think your business can only do $50,000 in the first year, at least start with a small policy, because what I will tell you is that anything you do, you can increase in the future. You wouldn't have to get a new policy after that, but anything that you have, you can increase in the future.
Yeah.
We do amendments, so you can always increase. So as your business grow, like I said, we will grow with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and remind us again what the key man insurance is about. Is it when we get, as an entrepreneur, if I get ill and I can't work, then the key man insurance kicks in, or
Yes, it covers both sickness and death. So in the event if any key person was to have a major illness or become disabled, or if, say, Lord forbid, death does happen, it will pay out a lump sum of cash.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies. I know that today, again, with this virtual talk, there was a wealth of information for you to consider about your savings, about the insurances, and different things. So you can reach both Siobhan and Shanice at Guardian Life Caribbean should you have any additional questions for them. So once again, we are at the end of yet another informative webinar. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I want to ask you to tune in on Tuesday, the 30th of August, where we'll be looking at technology in business. So have a wonderful afternoon, and once again, thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
It is often said that the longest journey begins with the first step. And here at Fund Access, we give you the courage to start your journey, to grow, to live your dream. For more than 20 years, Fund Access has been empowering entrepreneurs through access to finance, business training, and technical assistance. So whatever stage you're at, we can help. Call us at 228-1366 or visit us online at www.fundaccess.org. Fund Access, empowering entrepreneurs. It is often said that the longest journey begins with the first step. And here at Fund Access, we give you the courage to start your journey, to grow, to live your dream. For more than 20 years, Fund Access has been empowering entrepreneurs through access to finance, business training, and technical assistance. So whatever stage you're at, we can help. Call us at 228-1366 or visit us online at www.fundaccess.org. Fund Access, empowering entrepreneurs.